Hey, this is Chris from BattleRap.com here in Toronto, Ontario with this guy.
Dialect, you know the name WI, man.
Is this your first time in Toronto?
Yeah, first. Well, I've been here when I was 2, but I was a baby, do you know what I mean? So
It doesn't
I don't
count.
really remember much, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think so far?
Like, I'm enjoying the experience, you know what I mean? I'm a bit tired from the flight, but this place looks like it's got a lot going on, do you know what I mean? So it's good.
Do you think that the jet lag is going to impact your performance tomorrow?
No, I don't think it is. I am tired now, but as long as I get some sleep, I'll be all right, do you know what I mean? It's what we do with performers. I'm not here to make no excuses, you know what I'm saying?
So your original opponent was Danny Myers when they first announced it was Danny Myers, and then they updated it to Chilla Jones. What do you think about that? What do you think about Chilla Jones as an opponent?
He's a really good opponent, to be honest. I think changing it to Chilla, that made the battle slightly harder in a sense of writing wise. I do like really rate him as a writer, do you know what I'm saying? I think his performance isn't as strong as Danny's, so I kind of felt like it's a bit of a double-edged sword, to be honest, you know what I mean? Like, Chilla Jones, I couldn't ask for a better opponent after, like, you know, Danny not being able to do it. Like, Chilla's the next best thing, yeah, definitely.
Two things that I've heard a lot of people talking about in terms of you performing in Canada. One is, will your accent be too strong for the Toronto audience to catch it? Is that a concern of yours, or is that something you're aware of?
It has been a concern. It's I do take note of what people think, and like I'm always trying to adapt and do better, you know what I mean, to make sure people can you know understand what I'm saying. But I think in this battle in particular, I've done a good job of just like, I'm not using as much slang maybe and stuff like that and slowing certain bits down, but I am here to do me. I got invited here to do me, so I'm not really going to change much, but I've definitely adapted enough to the crowd, you know, that everyone will be able to understand me, hopefully.
Now the other thing is what was very effective for you with Zen against Marlo and Shuffle was that approach with the grime flow. Pretty much everyone that I spoke to at that event last week was giving you the second round. I asked all of them, but what did he say? They said it didn't matter. Said it's how he said it. So there, and in Canada or North America as a whole, there's actually not really any grime culture. So again, is that like, do you have one arm behind your back, or you know, what is your approach with this this grime flow?
I think it is a slight, I'm at a bit of a disadvantage with it not being so popular here, but at the same time, I feel my job, even as an artist and what I'm representing, I'm supposed to be bringing that, showing that around the world, you know what I mean, and showing exactly where I come from. So I've got my strategies and the ways I'm going to do things, but at the same time, like even though it might hold me back in some ways, I'm here to represent for what I do and what I come from. So you know, grime all day.
And we're a week since your, I suppose, defeat against the 2-on-2 champions. Now that you've had some time to let that settle in, you know, what are your thoughts on that battle?
I think me and Zen did a very, very good job against them. Like, they're the champions for a reason. I'm not going to say I rate them as rappers because I don't feel they are rappers in it, but they're really good at what they do. And I feel that for two rappers to go against them, we put up a really good fight against them. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't feel let down in any way that we don't have the title. All in all, it would have been nice to have the 2-on-2 title, but at the same time, I'm not ridiculously let down by the situation. Do you know what I mean? So I'm all right with it. Yeah.
Also heard a lot of people talking about you as a contender for the next title shot after Unanimous and Tony D. Is that something that you're interested in?
It's one of those things, I guess, because like I am a music artist. Like my main focus is really around my music and stuff, and I do know that with having a title, it's also a responsibility. Do you know what I mean? Where you will have to take certain battles regardless, you know, whether you want them or not. At the same time, though, I know I am one of the only people who probably would stack up for being a champ at this current moment. So if it got offered to me, I wouldn't necessarily turn it down. Do you know what I mean? Unless I had something else going on just as important. But yeah, man, I think I've got what it takes. Innit? Yeah.
Big battles coming up tomorrow. Pat Stay versus old what's his name? Daylight. What are you expecting for that one?
Oh, well, it's going to be a tough one. I think Pat is going to do what he does best, and I think he is going to bring his A game in this, I personally think, because he's never had an opponent like Daylight before, do you know what I mean? He usually, his presence and his whole style, he usually just buys people off, you know what I mean? It's not really a problem, but I think with Daylight, he's going to have a way harder challenge. I think Daylight still, for me, the better puncher when it comes to, like, you know, bars and stuff, but at the same time, Daylight's not going to have it easy at all, yeah, because, you know, it's Pat Stay in it. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Now, a lot of people might know you as the guy who stood in front of Daylight as he got naked. You stood in front of him briefly, and then you stopped standing in front of him and went off. What was going through your mind in that moment when that was happening with Daylight?
You know, the whole time, like, when I knew I was going to be battling him, I'd obviously watched all his previous stuff before, and I knew that he loves, like, trolling the world and just doing crazy stuff. And I was like, he's going to do something. And as soon as he got naked, yeah, which I wasn't expecting that to be one of the things, yeah, like, I didn't actually know what to do with myself. Like, there was part of me thinking, shit, what is going on right now? Another part, like, this is kind of taken away from the battle slightly of what it was supposed to be. But then on the other hand, yeah, I think without that happening, do you know what I mean? Like, I might not be here now, but even so, I think everything happens for a reason. And even though I would have rather him not got naked, yeah. Do you know what I mean? I just dealt with it, didn't I?
Would you recommend to other battle rappers to take on Daylight at some point in their career?
No, not unless they're looking to add to his, like, you know, like, legendary status that he's got, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I've seen a lot of his battles where he don't do no antics and he just goes in heavy, do you know what I mean? And it is impressive. But I'm expecting a gimmick against Pat Stay. I guarantee I think he's going to do something.
Right. And the other big battle that's coming up soon is Disaster versus Cassidy. Any predictions for that one?
If I say from a point of view as, I'd say Disaster's a bit more experienced within battling in King of the Dot, let's say, because I know that Cassidy still does have a battle background, you know what I mean? And I think the way he punches anyway, even on tracks and that, I think he's going to be holding weight. But I'd like Cassidy to actually, like, win or at least be able to hold his ground. But, you know what I mean? We're talking about Dizzy here as well. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be a tough one. Yeah.
All right. And what's next for you?
What's next for me? Well, I was just going to concentrate on a bit of music for a while, which I still am going to be doing. But then obviously Nestle called me out. Yeah, like we've exchanged a few words on Twitter and stuff here and there, obviously about his flow, about my flow, and I think, well, I'm definitely up for that challenge because technically it's still revolving around music to me. Then, do you know what I mean? It's not just an a cappella battle. I get to go.
So it'd be an on-beat battle.
Yeah, on-beat battle. That's tough shit. Do you know what I'm saying? But I think I'm up for the challenge as well because it isn't just the grime thing I'm good at. Like, I can hold it down on hip hop as well in it, and I just think, well, this is giving me a good opportunity to go against someone who's really holding weight on it as well. Do you know what I mean? And he's got his own good background for it. So yeah, Nestle probably next battle, to be honest, and that'll be, you know, early next year or something.
Cool. All right, Dialect. Thank you.
Big ups, man. Yeah.